Welcome to your final financial stop, where today we're going to be talking about debt management and how you can take advantage of the opportunities life has thrown at you today. If you liked or learned anything from this video, please like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. Subscribe to my Patreon to learn how to utilize and use this information in the real world today. Quick disclaimer, as this is not financial advice. Do not substitute any of this information for what you would receive from a professional financial advisor. Understand that every investment has its own risk and rewards to it. So please do your own research before making any action or consult with a professional. But to start things off, let's talk about debt. What is debt? Debt is where you owe money to some other party. Typically, when you have debt, you owe interest on that debt as well. Interest is typically a percentage of the amount that you owe. Interest is there to make the person loaning you money in the first place. So yes, it's money that you haven't spent. In some other videos of mine, I've talked about credit and debit cards and what debt means there. But in reality, there's debt all around us. The government is in trillions of dollars of debt. Meanwhile, you may be a couple thousand short or a few thousand. But the goal here is to understand the mistakes that people often make when trying to get out of debt, and then show you ways in which you can better your spending habits and save you money and earn you money. And the first mistake typically comes from the spending habits people make, such as going to the coffee shop every morning or door dashing every meal. Some people think paying off debt is something that you have to be alone for. There's credit consultations online and they're free, because in reality, debt doesn't disappear overnight. Understand that it takes patience. And without a budget, you're gonna need more than patience. So something practical, something simple is all you need to get started. Some people think closing off their credit cards once they're paid off is the best thing to do. In reality, that could hurt your credit score because you're not utilizing as much credit as you have available. You're just decreasing it, therefore taking the ratio down, therefore hurting your credit score. And life comes at you fast, whether it be medical bills or unemployment. Make sure you always have at least 3 months worth of emergency savings readily available for you. Yes, paying off debt and saving are contradictions, but you need to make sure you have something safe and secure for yourself when things go bad. So first, learn how to make a budget. Write down your average monthly income and break it down into 2 parts, so bi-weekly increments. Write that number down on a separate piece of paper. Write down your weekly expenses, including gas, car insurance, rent, car maintenance, and much, much more. If you only pay it once a month, divide it by 4 and multiply it by 2. If you pay for it twice a month, like groceries, keep that amount. If you buy gas once a week, multiply that by 2. Get everything on bi-weekly increments and then write that number down separately. Compare the 2 numbers and ensure that your income is greater than your spending amount. Then consider your financial goals. The reason why I like to do bi-weekly measurements is because it's less stressful. What if you overspend on the 3rd week and the 4th week you're left with $2? With bi-weekly spending, it's easier to cut everything in half by the week. Increasing your income and decreasing your spending is a good gig, but what if you can only do one or the other? Choose increasing your income. Start a side gig and learn a new skill. Sell your own clothing line or teach something you're passionate about. Get a part-time job, whether it's seasonal or for the full year, or ask for a raise. And don't buy that new car. Why buy a new car with a down payment and $300 every month for the next 3 to 5 years? You could use that money for essentials, for investments. Buy the used car and pay for it in full. Upgrade the vehicle as you must, but the amount that you saved could probably get you 2 cars. New cars are nice to look at, but if you're not in a position to pay for it comfortably, or at least twice, don't buy it. Live below your means. Dine out less frequently, go to the bar less, and prep your meals. Manage how much you eat, manage how much you spend. Cut out non-essentials at the grocery store. I'm not saying you have to take away Rice Krispie treats entirely, but understand what's a necessity at the time. Drive less, save money on gas, save coupons for everything. Here in Texas, H-E-B offers coupons on many things across the store. So even though I'm buying tortillas, yeah, I might need that Dawn dish soap. It helps in the long run. Or you can buy wholesale, buy multiple all at once, and beat inflation that way. Stock up on those Clorox wipes. Go to the library instead of the movie theaters, which is free. Quit cable, streaming services, and subscriptions that you don't use. Or to limit them, cut the ones that you abuse. Learn to say no. It's okay to say no to your friends or family when they want you to do something that requires more money than you're willing to spend. Let them know that you're on a budget and that you have to follow by it because you want to be financially free. So say no. You got yourself in debt. Now let's work twice as hard to get yourself out so that the reward will feel twice as worth it. You can't just leave debt unattended to. It leads to repossessions, foreclosures, bankruptcies, and much more. When you're paying off your debt, focus on the highest interest line. So save and pay off your debts as you normally would, but rank them in order from highest interest rate to lowest. And anything extra that you have to put towards those loans, pay off the highest interest first. Consolidate your debt with an online service. There are options out there for student, personal, credit card, medical, and much more. Put it into one account and watch your interest rates stay constant across the board, as you only have to make one payment. Find the perfect loan and be aware of hidden fees, restrictions, and rules to their terms. And please do not spend more on those original credit lines just because they've opened up again. A hot tip is to use a balance transfer credit card. There are types of credit cards out there that offer 0% APR when you first sign up, typically for about 12 to 16. Once that expiration date has been hit, those rates could rise up to about 30%. If your debt is still not paid off, you're going to wish it was. But the key is, you can create as many credit cards and as many debit cards as you'd like. Opening and closing new credit cards can severely affect your credit score, so please limit the amount of credit cards you create within a single year. And once again, do not think that you can spend more money just because those original credit lines have opened up again. You still have debt to pay off. Don't add to it. And of course, always pay more than the minimum. Whether you have 0% interest or 30%, pay more than the minimum to get out of debt quicker. And lastly, ask yourself why. Before you buy something, ask yourself, why do I need this? Why is this important? Don't entirely deprive yourself of things that make you happy. It's okay to spend a little bit of extra money on something that will make you happy in the long run. Just make sure that your budget can handle it. Ask yourself why you went into debt in the first place. Life happens and it's unfair. But once you start asking yourself why, you'll find the answers to your own questions. Thank you for joining me today. I really do hope you enjoyed the content. It would mean a lot to me if you liked, shared, or subscribed to my channel if you enjoyed or learned anything at all. Subscribe to my Patreon to understand how you can use some of this information in the real world. Learn about the best debt consolidation companies out there, best balance transfer credit cards, more budgeting tips and tricks, and information not available on YouTube. Follow my Twitter and ask me anything. I'd be happy to reply and respond with my own opinions on the topic. Thank you for joining me today.